What's up guys, welcome to another recipe. Today I'm gonna show you how to make a really good piece of steak. It only requires a few ingredients, but it's all about the technique here. I don't want you guys to be eating dry and bland steak. We are gonna be making this nice and flavorful, and it's gonna be perfect for meal prep all week long. Many of you guys will see steak on your meal plan, so this is a great way to incorporate that steak into your meal prep. Really simple technique. I'm going to show you what you need and how to do it. All right, so I'm starting off with 2 pieces of steak here. I have a ribeye steak, I believe, and then we're just going to season it with salt and pepper. We have some butter, some avocado oil, and garlic and thyme for a little bit of extra flavor. Definitely customize it to your liking and go for the seasonings that you like and you enjoy, but I'm just gonna show you the basics and do salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic and thyme in my steak. All right guys, so the first tip to keep in mind is you wanna make sure that your steak is at room temperature before it hits the hot heat. You don't want cold steak hitting a hot pan. It's not gonna cook right. So let it sit out on your countertop for about 10 to 15 minutes until it gets to room temperature. Of course, it's gonna depend on what time of the year it is, if it's hot outside, how cold your kitchen is, but just let your steak come to room temperature before you go and cook it on the pan. My next tip is to make sure that you remove all the moisture from your steak. So you're just gonna take a paper towel and pat dry your steak. So I'm just gonna pat dry, make sure I get all that moisture out. We don't want any moisture hitting a hot pan with oil in it. All right, my next tip is when it comes to seasoning, you wanna generously season your steak. Because we're only doing salt and pepper, I'm gonna make sure that every inch of this steak is full of seasoning. This is also gonna help make that crust taste delicious and is gonna give lots of flavor to your steak. I know red meat gets a bad rep nowadays, especially with the whole vegan movement that's going on, and it's totally fine if you decide to go vegan, but red meat is actually something that's great for you to incorporate into your meal plans. It's full of amino acids and is a really good source of protein. The only thing that I would advise is to make sure that you're going for the organic, grass-fed and grass-finished red meat, just to make sure that you're avoiding intaking hormones and weird things that they usually put in non-organic, grass-fed and grass-finished beef. Another thing is a lot of times in the health and wellness world, you hear people talk about avoiding salt. I don't want you guys to avoid salt. I want you to go with really good quality salt. So like pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. These are gonna have lots of really good minerals for you. It's gonna have lots of electrolytes in there for you. So definitely make sure that you're incorporating salt into your diet. All right guys, now that we are ready to cook up our steaks, the first thing that I want you to keep in mind is I want your pan to be really, really hot before putting the steak in. Not too hot to the point where your steak is gonna burn as soon as you put it in, but you definitely wanna hear that sizzle when you put your steak in. So what I like to do is use a cast iron skillet. I heat it up and then I add my oil just to make sure that the oil doesn't go rancid or anything with a high heat. So my pan has been heating up. I think it's ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my avocado oil. Now we're gonna add in the steak. So I'm gonna just do one at a time. All right guys, so as you can hear, our steak is sizzling. It's nice and hot. I'm gonna cook it for about 3 minutes per side. It depends on how you like your steak. If you like it medium well done. But the way that I like it, 3 minutes per side is perfect. Also, if you're doing this for meal prep, you don't want to overcook your steak because as you heat it up throughout the week, it's going to get dry and it's not going to taste as delicious. So make sure to undercook it a little bit and you'll be perfectly fine storing it in your containers for the week. The more you heat it up, the more it's going to cook. So just be mindful of that for meal prep. All right guys, so it's been about 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip my steak. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put in my butter. And I'm gonna add that garlic for flavor. I'm also gonna add in the thyme for more flavor. You can do whatever herbs that you like. And at this point, you can take some of that butter and add it to the top of your steak so you can get all that nice flavor going. All right guys, so it's been about 3 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my steak and allow it to set on the plate. All right guys, so my steak is out of the pan and I have allowed it to rest for about 5 minutes. This is also another key step. Don't go and slice your steak right out of the pan. It's gonna lose a lot of juices, and once it comes off of the pan, it's still cooking on the inside a little, so we want that process to continue to happen. All right guys, our steak is ready to enjoy. It looks so good. It's still a little pink on the inside. This is how I like it, but of course, customize it to your liking. Again, you don't need a million ingredients. It's all about the technique. Keep it simple, and you can enjoy delicious food while you're on this challenge. I hope you guys try this technique out and you enjoy it. I'll catch you guys in the next recipe video.